What is up, my fellow creepers and things that go bump in the night? Welcome back to yet another episode of Creature of the Night. You know what? I thought I'd take it back here with a little, maybe a little superhero horror, and I'm talking, of course, of Blade.
Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff.
You're one of them, aren't you?
No, I'm something else.
Starring Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff, I think that's it, the guy who played Deacon Frost, and Chris Christopherson, Whistler, and director Stephen Northington, and writer David S. Gorey. I believe that's how you say his name. I said so. Yes, Blade. I believe he's considered Marvel. I didn't even know that, to be honest, until I think when they made Blade Trinity, and that's when the Marvel Studios things were starting to come out. So yeah, I didn't even know that. So doing research back then, like, I'm hopefully I found a picture of the original comics or how he originally looked. Blade didn't really look to par. He did not look how he looks in this movie. You know, they've definitely brought Blade into like the 21st century. They updated him. I think like how it was in the comics, he was like he had wooden stakes and he kind of was just like that freedom fighter type of looking guy. He really didn't like. I don't know. He kind of looked like just some kind of superhero they made up at last minute. And versus how he is in this movie, he's leathered out. He has a sword. He has the silver stakes. He has the guns, the bullets, and all that. They made him look fucking badass. Let's just fucking be honest. And for the good thing too, like this movie was scary. I remember watching it, with my dad when I was little. It it definitely got you your blood going. It got your adrenaline pumping. The music was amazing. All the techno, like they bringing it into the 21st century. They added modern day music to it, so they had this badass techno going in the back of it the whole time, or this very like up high beat, fucking dark techno, metallic noise going on in the background of this entire movie, and it just made it perfect. If you haven't seen Blade, he's he's a daywalker. He's one of the few vampires that can walk in the daylight. He does take serum to control his urges of blood, because once he goes, supposedly when he goes back to drinking blood, he goes like full animal, full animal instinct with it. But I mean, still, even when it gets to the point in the movie where he has to drink blood to survive, yeah, he gets like his powers go above and beyond from what they were, but he doesn't really lose control, in my opinion. Like I said, Daywalker, his sole purpose is killing vampires. His mother, while he was in the womb, was actually bitten by a vampire. So when he was born, there you go. It gave birth to a Daywalker, and he is taken under his wing by a guy named Whistler, and taught how to use weaponry, how to fight these creatures, and how to identify all the creatures that are about. So yeah, it's like how he describes it to a nurse who is bitten by a vampire that he set on fire and staked to a wall. He tells like there's a world that the sugar coating, and then underneath is like the real world, the rotten stuff, like the bad stuff that nobody ever wants you to see. And so he saves his nurse after he crashes a club party, which like that scene alone with the whole techno and all that shit going was fucking amazing. That's what I like that solely, like that's why I'll put it on, even if it's just to watch that scene, just because that scene is just like fucking amazing. Like since I believe his mother a nurse, I believe so, and so he sees this doctor and he looking down, like he kind of got a glimpse from like how his mother was reaching out after she was bitten. So of course he's like, oh, it reminds me of my mother. So they kind of save her. They don't really cure her. Like he says, there's not a cure for this. They kind of just like postpone it. That's all they can really do. And the whole time the guy he's going after is Deacon Frost. He wasn't born a pure blood. Pure blood, you're born a vampire. He was made into a vampire. So as like like how some people see other people who are like half breeds or whatever, like it's not pure, you're not, you're nothing, whatever. Even in vampire society, what the fuck? He has his plan. He finds out about a blood god who basically could turn, like I don't see why, why you would do it, but like the blood god can turn like the whole world into vampires, and I don't know what you're feasting on after that. I don't Now thinking about it and saying it out loud, I don't really see the purpose. What is Deacon's purpose? He wants to bring about the blood god, you know, just so like he says, he's like, we're at the top of the fucking food chain. Like it doesn't matter. Like when the Lamagra comes, Lamagra, I think that's how you say it. When he comes and he turns, it doesn't matter who's half breed and who's not. So that's this whole thing. Like it doesn't matter who's pure and who isn't. Like we're all gonna be the same because we're fucking everywhere. So it doesn't matter. You know, there's not gonna be this pecking order of how it's gonna be. So yeah, he has to. They kidnap the doctor, to, you know, so they could bring him out because Blade is key. Like his blood, the blood of a Daywalker is key to bringing about the Blood God, and it without him, that's it. You know, you can't. It's not possible. So they get the doctor. They fucking destroy Whistler. They beat the living shit out of him, and I think they turn him, and that's why he kind of like he asks for Blade's gun and he takes his own life. And of course, you know, that's it. All bets are off. It's time, and Blade's coming for that ass. Going into the Frost's fortress or whatever you want to call it, and fighting his way up level by level through everything, even like having these new darts that the doctor made for him, where it's I believe does it cure? I can't remember if it cures like not cures sickle cell, but like helps with it or something like that. Because you know the reason vampires drink blood is because they can't like maintain something with their blood. I forget what it's called exactly, but they can't maintain it, so they have to keep purifying themselves with new blood every single time. So this kind of like, oh, it's an I'm sorry, I take it back. Forgive me. It is an anticoagulant formula. So when he throws it at the vampires, their blood then they actually like start swelling up to where they actually explode, and it's not fucking. It's not fucking cute. It's not fucking good. It's not. It's not good at all. It's fucking horrible. It looks painful as shit. And like the first time we actually see it in use is when he fights these two martial art vampires with tasers, and he's fucking whooping their ass, and he stabs one in the heart or in the chest and one in the eye, and all you're seeing is them fucking screaming for their lives, and then until they explode. And then, you know, finally when he actually he comes to discover that his mother is still alive, and not only is she alive, she's a vampire. And not only that, it was Deacon who bit her and basically made Blade into the Daywalker and made him into the thing he is today. So big mind fuck. He gets caught off guard, and that's how Frost gets him. They take him to the pyramid where they need, and they also take the purebloods, the oldest vampires that they have, the ones that started it all, and they sacrifice them to Lamagra, and they releasing their tormented souls. That's what brings about Lamagra. They all go in and out of Deacon's body until he is no longer Deacon. He is now Lamagra, and he's fighting Blade, you know, sword to sword, and Blade's kicking his ass. You know, he's trained for this. He's kicking his ass, but chopping off his hand, but his hand immediately grows back instead of like taking days or months to grow back like he usually would. And even chopping him in half, when chopping him in half, his body flying backwards, the blood just comes back together and pulls him back together, and just like it's nothing. Like there is no beating him, but until he gets his darts back, and that's the only way he can defeat him, and that's it. He's like, you know what? Like the doctor was telling him earlier about a cure. Like, yeah, there might be a cure that I could do, but it's gonna take away your powers. Like, you won't be able to regenerate. You're not gonna be as fast. So, you know, it's that same thing. Like what are you gonna do? Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's like literally the lesser of two evils. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna be this kind of hungry for the rest of your life, or do you want to be just another human being? So, and that's not in his job description for what he needs to do. And after defeating Lamagra, that's it. Like he still goes and continues. Like now he's traveling the world and he's still killing vampires, guys. I fucking recommend it. The soundtrack was dope. The photography was dope. Cinematography was dope. Fucking Wesley Snipes killed it. I know they're getting ready to redo Blade and I guess bring him into the MCU. And I don't remember how to say his name, but the guy from the Green Book, the star, the guy who played the pianist, I hear he's in the role for doing it. I don't know. Maybe because of his figure. I don't know. I just don't really see him as a Blade. I don't know. It's just like even seeing him in a, I guess, a fan's rendering of how he would look as Blade, it's still like it didn't really get me hype. But you know, I'm anxious to see it. I'm still a fan of Blade. You know, guys, it gets 2 thumbs up from me, guys. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know about what you thought about all the other videos that we are doing and what we're coming up. We Them Dudes has a preview has been filmed, and it's kind of just a bunch of randomness thrown in together, but it's fucking hilarious, and that's what I want. I want us just shit talking, making you laugh. We go for gasp, not laughs. So if we offend anybody on it, you know, guys, more videos to come, of course. Fucking Halloween, let's get it again, guys. Another day in October. Let's rock on.